Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hello, Lady Parts listeners. Hi. Oh no, this bodes ill for the rest of the podcast.
Well, let me just add my greetings and salutations.
Hi, everybody. We have a special podcast, two-parter actually.
Yep.
This week and next week, we're going to discuss the Emmy nominations. There are too many to discuss, so we've stuck to the ladies categories mostly, because
we are called Lady Parts. Right.
But before we get into the podcast, before we get into the Emmys, let me just give you the stats as we always do. We tallied 21 primetime shows, out of which written or co-written 15, which is 71%,
Yay!
The best we've ever had. And directed 10, which is 47%,
really
almost
great.
a half. Yeah,
it's amazing. If we had been doing this for the last several years,
it would never have been like that.
It would have hardly been worth noting.
Yes, and we had actually a quite diverse range of different shows that we watched this week. So it's not like we watched one show, binged on it, and it had a lot of female, presence. So this is really nice and diverse. Alrighty. So let's get into the Emmys, 2018 Emmys, which are in September, but the nominations have been released, and it's time to discuss. So the first thing I think we really wanted to say is that we're kind of tired of seeing the same old assumption that certain shows are worthy and certain shows are not even worthy of consideration.
And that's categories of shows also.
Yes, like sci-fi shows.
Sci-fi shows. And,
some sci-fi shows are amazing. I think Humans belongs here.
Absolutely. Gemma Chan and Catherine Parker, but Gemma Chan in particular, I think should be nominated.
You know what I think they should be? I think they should be, I know it's not the Emmys, the SAG Award ensemble category.
Humans would be
They're
phenomenal
amazing.
Because those people that go to camp to learn how to be
robots, to be part robots, to be robots but conscious robots.
Oh my
It's
God,
amazing.
It's amazing.
Also, No Animal Kingdom.
Ellen Barkin.
And Sean Hatosi.
Sean Hatosi is the one who for sure should have been nominated. But Ellen Barkin, she's such a quirky character besides the fact that she's wonderful. I don't know. I just don't know how you don't notice these things.
Well, I don't know if it's like, certain networks
also.
exactly are ignored. Also, even though they did get one nomination, it wouldn't have been the nomination that I would have picked. Waco, which was one of the best.
On Paramount.
A limited series. It should have been nominated for the series itself.
It should have been nominated for so many things. Now, there's still time, I think, for SAG. Because it was a huge ensemble cast. But Taylor Kitsch as David Koresh.
And the show itself.
Any of you Tim Riggins fans, I didn't even recognize him. He was so transformed and so committed to this role. He was brilliant.
I think, though, the bottom line is that it upsets me that certain shows, so for example, we're thinking for next year.
But ever was it thus,
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying it's time we said it. It's like...
we say it all the time. Are you kidding?
Well, it's time we said it again. we were talking about for next year, and I said I want to see Dietland there.
Absolutely.
And you said it will be there, and I said no, it won't. Sharp Objects will be there because Sharp Objects is an HBO, it's Amy Adams, but Dietland will probably not be there. So it's like these, again, it's like this hierarchy in television of who is even considered to be, to be worthy of even being nominated.
Exactly.
Yes. And I don't appreciate that. The other thing,
neither do they.
The other trend that we're seeing is a few shows that actually have been nominated for years and finally are not nominated.
That's because there's so many good shows in good conscience. I think people just stop voting for these mediocre shows.
I mean, Veep is not here because Veep is over.
Yes.
But, finally, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who we love.
We love her.
But it's time to make room for somebody else.
I still believe, and I used to say this about the daytime Emmys, once you've won 5 Emmys for playing the same character, that should be it, or you should withdraw yourself, be a mensch, take yourself out of the running.
Now, Modern Family, for the first time in 8 years, has not been nominated for anything. Orange is the New Black, they finally woke up to the fact that it's a shit show that does not
Didn't start off as a shit show.
No, but for the last 3 years, it's been just
crap.
Awful.
Unwatchable.
Literally, we could not get past the first 3 episodes of the
last season.
Was it even 3 episodes? I'm not even sure we made it to the third. And another trend that we're seeing is that people who sin in their personal lives ruin it for the entire show. So we see no Roseanne except for Laurie Metcalf.
Who this has been her year. She's been nominated for everything. Does she sing? Because otherwise she would have had a Grammy, but she didn't. But
no House of Cards.
Right.
No Transparent.
Right.
Yep. Even though, personally, I think that the show has many different categories that it could have been nominated in that are not Jeffrey Tambor.
That have nothing to do with Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah. Jeffrey Tambor is not my favorite person on the show.
Exactly.
Anyway, Maura wasn't even a nice person.
There are some really wonderful people, but so we see that it's an interesting trend that is happening right now.
It's a trend that has happened. I mean, look at Wonder Wheel. The fact
right. But it's also that just this year. That's because of the Me Too movement. That's because
Wonder Wheel was last year, but yes, because
Woody Allen.
Yeah, but what's her name?
Oh, Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Kate Winslet should have so been nominated for that movie.
Yeah, she suffered because the film in general was ignored because of that. Which there could be arguments in both directions of whether that's okay.
It's not okay.
The other thing that some people have been saying is that there have been no Latinas nominated, and they mention One Day at a Time. Personally, as much as we love
everybody in the show, love the show. I don't think it's
not Emmy standard. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. But on the other hand, Vida. Totally
Emmy worthy, or at least nomination worthy.
Nomination worthy for sure.
Very outstanding.
So many acting nominations, but just the show. It's what?
I just realized. I'm sorry. I know that we're not talking comedy this time, but since we're talking about people who've been ignored, Smilf. I thought about expected Smilf to be
last
nominated.
Year.
This would have been for this year.
She got some nominations,
maybe for a Golden Globe or something, but the Emmys.
Yeah, well,
Rosie O'Donnell.
It's not.
I
the Emmys
think
kind
it's
of show.
Such a good show.
Oh, it's a wonderful show, and she's so she does everything, Frankie.
Yeah, she writes, directs, acts, everything. Now we're not going to go into the male categories, but we just want to say one thing that's for sure, which is
Darren Criss will win, or
as he should
for playing Andrew Cunanan in Gianni Versace.
Yeah.
And I think everything that Versace was nominated for,
it's probably
it should win because it was just one of the best limited series I've ever seen. It was a great piece of drama in every way.
Every possible
I think
aspect
Penelope Cruz probably, has too much competition in that category.
Well, we'll get to that category specifically. But I think that...
But she was wonderful.
She was wonderful, but I think
Darren Criss, what an eye-opener that performance was.
Yeah, he should have pretty much every door open to him. Oh, yes,
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, Ryan Murphy is just so good at making award-worthy roles for actors and getting everything out of them. It's just amazing to behold.
There's always, even though we can't watch American Horror Story,
not for lack of trying.
Not for lack, or the last one I think we could have watched.
Cult, we tried. We watched about half of
quite
it.
a bit of it.
Yeah, but ultimately it was too depressing because it was too realistic.
Because it was too realistic. Yes,
not even
that
because
was
of the
really
gore.
what it was. It wasn't about the horror at all. It was about it was too friggin' depressing about Trump. But they always get multiple nominations, and mostly for women.
Yeah, Ryan Murphy's really good.
He is a friend of the ladies.
Yes,
I'll tell you.
And in the last few years, he's also apologized for not having enough women directors and made a conscious choice.
Yes, and he's a very cool guy.
He is a pretty cool guy.
And I'm sure very. At this point, financially
rich guy.
rewarded guy.
Oh yes. Didn't he just sign like one of the most?
$6 trillion.
With Netflix.
Netflix, and he.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the categories, just about the variety show categories, we're not going to get into those. But I just want to say I'm happy that Full Frontal with Samantha Bee.
Yes, I'm amazed that it was noticed, but
it was nominated for various awards. However, did the show host itself?
As Barbara would say,
or Billy Crystal,
except Billy Crystal took it from Barbara.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
I'm not sure
I think
about
it was
that.
a Barbara. Oh, all right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anyway, Samantha Bee herself was not nominated,
nominated.
Possibly because of what she said, which if we
so
go
was that
along
remark
the trend
was
of...
before,
Yeah, if we go with the trend of, White Transparent and House of Cards and all those, we're not nominated.
At least she didn't lose her job, thank God.
Even though Trump did want her fired.
Yes, well.
He's not that powerful.
Exactly. This is not The Apprentice, thank goodness.
Okay, why don't we talk about one of the biggest categories right now?
All right.
The first category. Why don't you tell us what it is?
All right. This is about the hardest category next to...
I should say, some of the categories here, especially in the drama department, are almost impossible. But some of them are quite impossible for us to decide.
Yes, because there's so many I really want to win. And there's only one show I still have never watched, which is odd because I like the category.
It's a drama series.
It's a drama series. Yes, I don't watch Stranger Things.
Right.
And it's been lauded and award-winning.
We tried one episode. We were bored.
Yeah, I'm going to try again, though, because I do like sci-fi.
And I like the 80s, but we're still bored.
But anyway, here we go.
Drama series nominees.
The Handmaid's Tale.
We can just stop there, but go on.
No, we can't just stop there because there's 5 or 6 more. So I think we have to go on.
No, but I'm just
Game
saying.
of Thrones. We can just stop there. No, we can't. This Is Us.
Fine, but it's
The Crown.
To me, This Is Us is kind of repeating itself at this point. It's a bit too sugary.
Yes. It's like going around in circles.
Yeah, during every season, about halfway into it, I'm like, enough, I can't do this anymore.
Exactly, I agree. I still like it. I love the acting. But it's become extremely repetitive and self-referential. And I just, but it's still a network, the only network show in the mix, and I suppose that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Although I've seen network shows that
would have been worthy.
Would have been more worthy, exactly. Like Animal
Kingdom. Well, that's cable.
Oh, that's true. I take it back, not network.
True.
All right.
Yes.
The Crown. So sensational, unbelievable. From tip to toe. I mean, everything about it is first class. Acting, production, writing, everything is just spectacular. The Americans.
Last Chance.
Last Chance for the Americans.
A show that has been largely overlooked and underrated by the awards people in general.
And it was an amazing season, as it always is. But it's to be able to wrap a show like this up in a satisfactory way and still give us a lot of drama and a lot of things to think about and not be disappointed in the way it ended is, to me, one of the great achievements of this show.
Absolutely. It's very, very hard to do. It's very hard to do. I think
I couldn't imagine how they were going to do it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, again, which I guess I'm going to try again. And then my beloved Westworld, which is a show of such monumental brilliance.
So, with the exception of This Is Us and Stranger Things, because we don't watch it, I think we could be happy with any... I mean, honestly,
The Handmaid's
to me, The Handmaid's Tale.
I think The Handmaid's Tale
I don't think it can be beat, in my eyes anyway, because it's just such a phenomenal... standout show,
especially in our times.
Yeah, it's important.
Just visually, it's so breathtaking. But then the writing, the acting, the subject matter, the execution. Or should I say executions?
It's outstanding.
Yes, but then look at
you have to pick one. But the good thing for us is that
we don't have to pick one.
Yes, and the good thing is that quite a few of these winners would make us happy.
Yes, and I watch all of them
almost
except one show, and that is amazing. There's very few categories that I've seen everything in, and I watch a ton of television. So.
Now, for, again, one of those tough categories. Mimi's hitting herself.
In case you did, I'll do it again. That's slapping myself on the forehead with my hand. Ouch. Not smart for a girl with migraines.
A lead actress in a drama series. Again, we could have quite a few girls here, ladies, who could win, and we would be happy. Claire Foy for The Crown, and it's her last chance. Clairvoyant. This is her last chance because after
Olivia
this,
Colman
Olivia,
I can't wait. But Claire Foy was just so spectacular. I mean, you think her next movie was someone who was locked up in an insane asylum. A semi-horror movie that went nowhere.
Well, she wanted to prove that she was diverse.
Well, we are going to see her as Elizabeth Salander, so I think that we're going to see how very, very versatile she is.
So happy to see Tatiana Maslany nominated again. But I already forgot.
It's a pretty big.
I already forgot.
It was
about
so long ago, but to me, she is always. She
can win for
every
anything.
time she's nominated.
However, Elizabeth Moss.
However, Elizabeth
I know
Moss.
she picked every award last year. Throughout the year, she could still pick up any
I think
award.
That she was even better this year.
Yes.
I think there was more for her to do. There was more subtlety.
More range.
She was...
defiant, but
her
broken.
Defiance was just so...
But she was also broken.
Yes, she was almost more defiant than broken, even though terrible things happened to her.
It was truly a phenomenal season, and she is
she's
amazing
shown as always.
Sandra Oh for Killing Eve, which, by the way, the first Asian woman to ever receive a nomination in the Best Actress in a Drama category. Can you believe it?
I can believe it because there aren't that many Asian women.
There aren't any Asian. Roles for Asian women, not enough Asian women. I mean. There are plenty of Asian women, but not enough roles.
Although I think, Gemma Chan, I suppose, would have been put in the supporting actress category.
It's
it's outrageous, these stats, and she was wonderful. She would not be my pick.
Why? Our pick would have probably been Jodie Comer,
who was not nominated.
She had the flashier role.
Yeah, she did have the flashier role,
but she also made delicacies with it. She was phenomenal.
Just brilliant. Although my friend Penny Fuller, who's a wonderful actress, many of you may know, says that she felt that Sandra Oh's subtlety and choices were very, very exciting for her.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sandra Oh is a wonderful actress.
She is, but I don't think that this is her I don't think this is her year.
Kerry Russell.
Oh.
Again, to me, it's like this is their last year. It's their last chance to be acknowledged for a show that has been ignored way too much.
And if they had to wait this long, this would have been the year to do it.
Yeah.
She was so tortured.
Oh, God, she was painfully tortured.
And her character grew and changed, and it was she was difficult to watch, I felt, this season.
Who would have thought that little Felicity could be that?
She's gigantically talented.
I am so looking forward to seeing what she's going to do next now. Me because too. She's shown what she can, what she's capable of. And then there's Evan Rachel Wood
who
Westworld.
Dominated Westworld this year.
Did we say that Kerry Russell was for the Americans? Just want to make sure
just in case you're living in
under a rock.
Or
haven't listened to us rave about her a million times.
Or know nothing about television. Evan Rachel Wood, who basically dominated Westworld this year, and who I love, but Evan Rachel Wood is not my favorite woman on the show, but it is a different category.
Now, you said also that you're missing somebody in this category.
Yes, I'm missing somebody, a show that is, again, could have many, many, many nominations. Melissa Leo as Goldie in I'm Dying Up Here, a very depressing show about comedy, but she is the center, and she is phenomenal.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to
the most difficult category.
Isn't it interesting that it's always the most difficult for us?
Well, I think, first of all, supporting characters are legion. There's so many of them. And this year especially is just filled with them.
Just from The Handmaid's Tale.
Just from The Handmaid's Tale alone, exactly.
Supporting actress in a drama series. Go.
Alexis Bledel, just
heartbreaking in The Handmaid's Tale.
Absolutely. Millie Bobby Brown, who's already won, so I think
Stranger Things.
She has a whole life ahead of her. Ann Dowd, who won last year from Handmaid's Tale, and I think I'm delighted, but I hope this isn't her year. Lena Headey for Game of Thrones, and I love her, but again, she would probably not have been my choice.
You would chosen Maisie Williams, right?
Maisie Williams. I mean, Arya just, to me, steals the whole movie. Yeah, she really does, as much as, I think of it as a movie because of its production values. Although I love Emilia Clarke. Yeah. Vanessa Kirby.
You've been wanting this.
As Princess Margaret in The Crown. To me, she stole the crown. She was just outstanding outstanding from beginning to end. And again, we're going to lose her to Helena Bonham Carter. I would be very happy for Vanessa Kirby, except for the next two people.
Yes.
Tandy Newton, who to me is the heart of Westworld. Maeve is the heart of Westworld. And as we find out, she was sort of created. She was the special love of the creator of the...
Another theme that, again, happens on humans, too.
Yes.
And our personal
pick, Yvonne Strahovski.
The Handmaid's
Tale. Serena Joy.
Not much
joy
not
or
much
serenity in her life. But what a season. Should have been nominated last year.
No, but this is her season.
But this was her season. Again, she dominated the show. Yes, Elizabeth Moss is the queen.
Yes.
And I don't mean in The Crown. But I believe that Yvonne Strahovski was the center of this
the growth,
season.
The evolution. And she has to do everything.
And she has to sometimes change on a dime. She has to turn on a dime from one emotion to another.
And she has to do it all while being so repressed and so restricted.
It's sort of like, having to act with a bag over your head almost.
It's really, really a remarkable performance, a remarkable year for her, and I really hope she's going to get it.
And I'm thinking she could have it. I'm thinking that she could have it this year.
I hope so. Now that Ann Dowd has won last year, I feel very confident that it's her year.
Yes.
Also, we're missing Laura Linney from
Ozark, which we discovered finally.
And we just want to say, since you mentioned Maisie Williams, that you have always said, and I think too, that because a lot of the younger, besides Stranger Things, a lot of the younger actors are missing here. And
always. And there are so many fabulous child actors, teen actors. They never have an opportunity against these powerhouses. I think, as there are in soap operas, there should be a younger actor and actress category. In soaps, I think it's up to 25. I think it could be
22,
21,
22, 22. Yeah.
But give these kids a chance.
Yeah. There are some phenomenal...
They are phenomenal.
I need to stop saying the word phenomenal.
Yeah, that's all right. I usually say amazing. I remember when I used to do this.
Fabulous.
I used to do the Emmy Awards. Everything was fabulous, but it was live. I had to think on my feet, and I couldn't come up with that many words. But anyway, I do suggest to the Emmys...
A juvenile category.
A juvenile category, yes. Absolutely.
So,
and, you said Freddie Highmore missed the cutoff?
That's like no. I'm saying if we had a juvenile category, then because Freddie Highmore didn't make it this season for The Good Doctor.
He was just magnificent.
But again, these younger actors don't make it in, and they should have a category because, and also people are always worried that you can't compete with a kid or whatever. Then give them their own category. Let them compete among themselves. There are plenty of roles.
Personally, I think they can stand on their own 2 feet, but they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
So finally, we have guest actress in a drama series, which is also one of our favorite usually categories. We don't watch Scandal, and we haven't watched How to Get Away with Murder for a long time because we just can't bear the the stupidity of it.
It's just a stupid show.
And Viola Davis, year after year, has been nominated for How to Get Away with Murder.
And we love her, but she does the same thing.
Yeah.
The character is the character. She doesn't evolve.
The role itself is not Emmy-worthy.
No.
So for her, but Viola Davis is like, she will be nominated for anything. So now she's nominated for being a guest on Scandal.
So she takes a guest actress away from someone who has an opportunity to shine in one or two episodes. I think it's wrong.
And another slot,
as magnificent as she is, and we adore her
in everything pretty much except for How to Get Away with Murder. Another slot that we feel is should have gone to somebody else because we had to actually look up who she was.
Yes, Kelly
Jennrett, Handmaid's Tale, who was Luke's ex in one episode.
Scene in a flashback.
In one episode, and we didn't even remember her. So that's how we didn't feel that was that important a performance. Yes. Cherry Jones for The Handmaid's Tale.
She was wonderful, but I wouldn't give her the Emmy for it. This is who I would give the Emmy to.
Diana Rigg
in
for Game of Thrones.
What a powerhouse she is. Yeah. And she only had one episode, I think, this season, but she's been very...
that's a guest.
Yes. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
And what a performance it was.
Now also Cicely Tyson for How to Get Away with Murder, which without watching, I can tell you she's probably worthy of it. And my personal choice.
I saw it actually, and
you did?
Yes, and she's always wonderful in this role. And
she's always wonderful in everything.
This season, yes.
And my personal choice, since I don't watch Game of Thrones and I can't give it to Diana Rigg, my personal choice is for Samira Wiley for The Handmaid's Tale. Last year, I guess she would have been supporting. This year, because she had less to do, she's a guest. And she just moves me always. And she makes me laugh. And she's wonderful. She's so
actress.
warm.
Yes.
And I just love her. And I think she's the perfect friend for Elizabeth Moss' character. However, if we truly had our druthers...
Exactly. It would be Miriam Shore.
From The Americans.
As the woman with the last stages cancer that Carrie was caring for as an aide, a nurse's aide. Elizabeth, yes, Carrie. As someone fighting against the whatever it is, dying against the dying light. She did not want to go gentle into that good night. She was an artist. She wanted to draw and paint. She insisted on teaching Carrie Russell's.
The relationship between them.
It was so complex.
Oh, man. This is, again, one of those things that the Americans know how to do so well.
So well. But to me, again, this is what happened with Lois Smith. Lois Smith
absolutely.
Should have won. She wasn't even nominated. She should have
won everything for her one episode of The Americans.
And she wasn't even nominated.
That was a travesty not to nominate her.
I'm sure Miriam Shore is very disappointed because she's been around a long time and this would have been her chance.
So she would have been our choice, at least to be nominated. And there were two slots here that we would have replaced with her. So this
and Margot Martin did, but Margot's
she's been nominated at least before, and she's.
But she did. To me, this was her best season.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, she had her first and second season were really really really
But this
good.
Season was a very interesting season.
Yes, she showed more.
She showed
colors.
a range of emotions that we hadn't seen before.
So this is our take on the drama categories. Next week, we're going to talk to you about the comedy and the limited series and
Which
TV
are also
series.
dramas, most of them.
Right. Because we had so much to say. We knew we couldn't fit it into one podcast. So
this is already 2 podcasts.
Exactly. So we hope you stay with us for the next one. Come back to us anyway for the next one.
Exactly.
Yes. And in the meantime, have a wonderful week.
Yes. And let us know what you think about these things. Who do you think was snubbed?
ladypartstv@gmail.com. Who was snubbed? Who do you want to win? Tell us all your thoughts. As always, we welcome it.
And whether you agree or disagree with us.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.